to the discussion. My name is Kennedy Mona. We are going for a quick break. When we bounce back, we continue the show. Please stay.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goil Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goil Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Goil Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Goil Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Electricity, pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse. And my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance Motor Policy. Currently, my goods are on the IC, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor,
I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance
for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
Mps Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
All right, so you're welcome back. It's now time for us to take a look at happenings in the port and maritime industry in the course of the weekend. Indeed, the Italian government has expressed its continuous support for Ghana's fight against maritime piracy, plus the fact that the board of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority also in the course of the week paid working visits to some health facilities owned by the authority. Let's take a look at these stories.
The board chairman of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Isaac Osei, has praised the world-class facilities at the International Maritime Hospital in Tema. Isaac Osei, who was appointed chairman of the board of directors of GPHA in 2021, said the facilities at IMA are comparable to the best around the world, and Ghanaians should choose it as their hospital of choice.
In some of the equipment they have, it's in very few hospitals anywhere in the world. And I commend, that hospital to various clinics and smaller hospitals, so they can refer patients there. And for those of us who are getting on, I think it's a diagnostic center, should be one of preference, and it's world class.
The board chairman of GPHA also expressed excitement at the efficiency of the GPHA clinic, which has been serving the employees of GPHA and the general public for decades. These remarks were made during the board's visit to the health facilities under the care of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority to gain first-hand experience of operations there.
Even though this is a small facility, it looks like they are doing very, very, very well. They are doing a lot of huge things. Apart from looking after our staff, they also have other corporate and private clients. And I'm very impressed also, and I commended the general manager health for that. The place is clean. If you go into the wards, into the consulting rooms, into the stores, into the pharmacy, everywhere, it's very clean, and I'm very impressed.
The Italian ambassador to Ghana and Togo, Daniela Dolandi, has assured of her country's continued support to the fight against maritime piracy and illicit activities in the Gulf of Guinea. She revealed that the Italian frigate Luigi Rizzo, which has been deployed in the Gulf for about 2 years, is expected to stay in the region till June.
The frigate is here to fight against piracy in the Gulf of Guinea. It took part in multinational exercises like Obangame Express and in bilateral activities with coastal states, including Ghana. They had a joint exercise with the Ghana Navy to fight against piracy and illicit traffic and contribute to peace and stability in the Gulf of Guinea.
The commander of the Luigi Rizzo, Commander Andrea Saccheni, said the military mission forms part of the European framework for the coordinated maritime presence to help maintain peace and stability in the Gulf of Guinea.
From a statistical point of view, we can say from in 2022, the number of events has been decreasing quite a lot. So we can say with a certain degree of certainty that the coastal state, with the community, with the international community effort, are on the right path to improve the maritime security in the Gulf of Guinea and the security of the sea line of communication, which is important to use the sea for the well-being of the nations.
The Italians made this known during a donation of medical equipment to Ghana's Ministry of Health at the port of Tema on May 4. The donation comprised of 6 intensive care beds, an analysis lab chair, an ultrasound computer tomography, 10 multi-parameter monitors, and other medical accessories. The naval ship served as the conduit for the humanitarian aid to Ghana's health sector. The Minister of Health, Kweku Agyeman-Manu, explained that the aid will go a long way to give a boost to Ghana's health sector.
These beds you see here are ICU beds, intensive care unit. The equipment, we don't have many in our system. And I believe it will go so much, very, very far and deep in our intensive care service delivery in our teaching hospitals and in our lower facilities, the regions and the districts. There are not very many. The commander said that they don't have much space in this huge ship. People have carried a lot to us.
The 1988-year group of the old Achimota Association has refurbished and handed over the 2 receptions of the dialysis unit at the International Maritime Hospital to management of the hospital. The gesture follows the exceptional treatment a member of the association received at the dialysis unit prior to her demise. In memory of the deceased, Miss Ivy Barbara Arthur, the 1988-year group of the old Achimota Association, through voluntary contributions, refurbished the 2 receptions of the dialysis unit, which was the wish of the deceased. The refurbishment, which cost 60,000 Ghana cedis, included potted plants, flowers, 2 recliners, a television set, water dispenser, and sanitizer dispensers, amongst others. A member of the association, Benis Lako Natui, said, the refurbishment is to give dialysis patients a serene and comfortable waiting area.
In the inner reception, we have recliners, 2 recliners. Recliners are just seats that can become beds. So that just before you get onto the machine, you will psych yourself up, you'll be relaxed before you go in. Another television set will be put there to relax them. There is also a book there. We believe that the hospital itself has material on this dialysis, so that those who come here will know that that you have to come and dialyze does not mean that your life is condemned.
Uncle of the deceased, Frederick Amokwashi, revealed that his niece was full of praise for the services she received at IMA.
Ivy Barbara spoke highly of this unit here, and she had been patronizing it for many, many years. If some people patronize a service and they are very well taken care of, they should try and give a little bit of help.
Dr. Adam Musa, head of administration at the International Maritime Hospital, commended the Old Achimota Association for the gesture and assured that the facility will continue to offer unparalleled health care to patients.
This is very good for IMA. In terms of marketing, people have seen it. This is the reality. We're not out there marketing ourselves. It is the reality from the patient. The patient has spoken. We're doing the right thing. We're lifting IMA to another level. So all of the community should know, when they come to IMA, they will receive the best care.
Her name, spread her fame afar. She's ahead of all the hosts.
All right, so you're welcome back. Those were some stories that happened in the port and shipping industry in the course of the week. Now, tonight, we are going to take a look at E-Levy. We all recall that on the 1st of May, the Ghana Revenue Authority, which has been tasked to implement the E-Levy, began this episode theme.
So when you look at the trade in itself, what makes trade happen is transport. You can have, when you look at it in different forms, whether it's got to do with the movement of people or it's got to do with the movement of goods, it is that medium or the channel by which trade in itself happens. So what we're looking at is that we are looking at various ways by which we can ensure that we look at the cost, the ways by which we can reduce the total cost of trade. And that is mostly influenced by what the transport and logistics brings to bear on the entire trading public. So the main reason why we're looking at it is, first of all, to see how we can have the input we can have into the smooth implementation, irrespective of the commodities that are being traded, one. And the other one also is to look at the organizations or the companies that are operating within the transport and logistics sector, looking at how best a lot of these organizations can also position themselves to be able to take advantage of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Because you bear with me that last year, was it early last year, the research that was done showed that majority of SMEs really didn't have an understanding as to what it is. Now I know it's getting better, but it's very, very important that those who ensure that this trade actually happens are very well informed. And that is one of the main reasons why we thought we should pick this theme and then rally as much as possible the various stakeholders that come to play or that play vital roles in this particular process to come to a table, have deliberations, and then agree on an action plan to enable us move forward.
Right. So what would you say would be the overarching objective, or what would you seek to achieve with this particular forum after it's done?
So what we're looking at is, by way of outcomes, is first of all to get the buy-in from our membership, which comprises of professionals working within the sector. Two, we hope that by the time we're done, people or our members would have an understanding as to how or what it entails. So for instance, when you talk about rules of origin, what exactly does it mean? When you talk about the trade liberalization or the transport corridors, what exactly does it mean? So we leave all of us having kind of a level playing field, and that forms more or less like the baseline on which we can measure our progress. Now, key for us also is the fact that we are looking at the possibility of also working together with the Ministries of Trade and Industry, as well as the Ministry of Transport, to come out with action plans that would enable us to be able to support the process. And that is why we are very excited to have the National Coordinating Office, Dr. Farid Arthur and his team, also joining us to play that role where he, for instance, will be leading us.
After coordinating office.
The after coordinating office for Ghana would be joining us, and he'll be leading us in a dialogue, for instance, to enable us all have that required understanding that would enable us spare the progress that we hope to achieve. So basically, these are just a few of the outcomes we hope
to achieve. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So who are the dignitaries coming? Where's the venue? And is it possible for people to register online to take part in this forum?
Yeah, so we are actually honored to have the Minister of Transport participate in this particular event. He is coming in as a special guest of honor. The keynote is going to be delivered by His Excellency Wamkele Mene, that's the Secretary General of AFTA. We have the Deputy Minister of Trade. He is in the person of Honorable Herbert Krapper. He is also coming on board. We have the National Coordinator of the AFTA Coordinating Office.
Dr. Farid.
Yes, Dr. Farid Arthur, he's also coming. And then we have the International Vice President for Africa, who in the person of Dr. Demba. He is actually CILT. He's the chairman of the forum. And then we are privileged, Ghana is privileged to have a Ghanaian national is the one who holds the current position as international president-elect. So that means that within the next 2 years, he becomes the first African CILT international president, the person of Chief Titi Osunote.
Okay.
Yes, he happens to be the very first person.
I think I met him first when the current president of CILT Ghana was being sworn in.
Yes, at the Holiday Inn.
Yeah, I met Titi there.
Yes, that's Chief Titi. He's been in the industry for quite a long time.
That's Frank Amwama.
Yes, Mr. Amwama. That's very true. Okay. And registration is possible. We have the events website being events. That's for the Africa Forum. So it's an event that's without an S, .ciltgh.org. Once you go there, we have all the information. That's the profile, the speakers, the panelists, and all the moderators as well. And it's a paid event, actually, and it's mainly because of the fact that we need to ensure that everybody who is coming on board make sure that we don't end up running at a loss when you finish having a program like this. So you'd first of all need to register before you can actually participate in the activities. And fortunately for us also, we have some of the ambassadors from some of the countries like the Gabon, Zimbabwe, and some other institutions that have actually agreed to participate in this particular forum as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Very many thanks to you, Laliban Ugangi, who is the Executive Secretary CILT Ghana, bringing us up to speed with the CILT Africa Forum 2022 taking place in Ghana from the 10th through to the 12th of May 2022. We are grateful to you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And we hope to join you during the forum.
See you then.
Viewers, this is Iron Port here on Metropolitan Television. Remember, the show is proudly powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. We are going for a quick break. When we bounce back, we zoom into our main discussion for tonight. Please stay.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goil Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goil Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Goil Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Goil Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse. And my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima.
Tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
Mps Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
On the port and shipping we have Opoko Efri Asante. He is a member of the E-Levy Technical Committee to my left. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening and thanks for having me.
Absolutely, you're welcome. And to my right, we have Isaac Amwakun, member of E-Levy Technical Committee. You've been here before.
I have.
Absolutely, I remember. Yes. You're welcome once again.
Thank you.
So there's no need to say, this is your first? This year, this is your first?
No, this is my second. Not I on port first, but I've been on another program here. Okay. Also on E-Levy.
All right, also on E-Levy. Yes. But on our port, this is your first for this year.
This is my first for this year.
So it's in order to say Happy New Year to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so tell us about let me start with you, Mr. Free, and find out from you. Just bring us up to speed with what has happened so far since 1st of May. This is the second week we are entering. What are some of the issues that have come up since you started the implementation effectively?
Right, so it is the 8th day of the implementation of the levy. We started on the 1st May. And then as a result, there have been a few technical glitches here and there. But then as compared to the overall implementation of the levy, I would say that it has been successful. The issue that we had was with regards to people transferring money from what we call the off-net transactions. Basically what this means is that if you're on a network, say MTN, and then you're making a transfer from MTN to another network, say Vodafone or Airtel, instead of not being taxed when you make a transfer less than 100 cedis, we realized that some entities or some charging entities were charging individuals for making transfers below the 100 cedis. So that is something that was drawn to our attention, and then we engaged the charging entities to have it rectified.
And so you are very certain that this has stopped?
Right. So it is something that we anticipate seeing in the coming days, but then once it is rectified, we don't anticipate it happening again.
All right. So those were just some of the few issues that came out to your attention.
That's right.
All right. So let me come to Mr. Mwakwe and find out from you. So far, what's your impression about the implementation 8 days down the line?
I believe we can all attest to the fact that it's been highly successful. People were thinking there could be doomsday, but aside what Mr. Poku have talked about, that people were being charged off net, which was something that we realized is a technical glitch. We also had one that we anticipated where you are making a transfer to yourself, but off net, and you get charged. We made arrangement that if you fall in that category, you can request for a refund of the levy that has been deducted, and that is also proceeding nicely. And also the payment of the taxes, the E-Levy collected so far has also hit the GRA coffers, and I must say it is
You're getting excited about it, yeah?
It's really exciting because without even the common platform being in place, with this modified phase approach, we are seeing significant increase in the taxes collected, and that is a good sign. Some charging entities are still tweaking their system. So I believe by the time we get the full complement of all the charging entities, GRA will be smiling the more.
Okay, charging entities. Note that down. I'll be asking you who the charging entities are. We need to get that known, and so that we can brief and let listeners know what exactly is happening. But one thing that ran through most your submissions, both of you, is the off-net transactions you mentioned, and you also mentioned about the refunds. Have the refunds started going through?
Yeah, so as at the first day that we rolled out the levy, and all those who had been charged wrongfully, we've had cases where the charging entities have reported over 128,000 refunds that have been given to those who were charged wrongfully during the first day of implementation.
All right, so for the sake of the benefit of our viewers and listeners, I just want to find out from you, walk us through once again, those that are supposed to be charged, how much are you supposed to send in order to attract the E-Levy? Most people, like you said, I also saw people, mentioning the fact that they sent 50 cedis and they were charged. Others 100 cedis and they were charged. But I understand that 100 cedis, is off. It's beyond 100 cedis. Bring us up to speed.
Right. So we'll look at the transfers that are covered within the E-Levy. Ordinarily, when you make a transfer from your account to another person who...
That's from your Momo wallet.
From your Momo wallet. So let's call them the electronic money issuers. In this case, that would be the MTN, Vodafone Cash, Airtel, ZPay, and the likes. So when you make a transfer from MTN to another person who is also on MTN. The levy applies. We'll look at the exclusions or the exemptions within this.
Absolutely.
So when you also make another transfer from your wallet, say Vodafone, to a recipient who is also on another platform or another network.
Not on Vodafone.
Not on Vodafone,
So let's say from Vodafone to Airtel, or to what do we call it, MTN.
That's right.
Okay.
So that means that it's a different electronic money issuer. Then we also look at from transfers that happen from a bank account and then it ends on a Momo wallet.
Right.
So when you make a transfer from your bank account to someone else who has a mobile money account, that also the levy also is applicable within that transaction. And the reverse can also be said when you make a transfer from your mobile money wallet to the bank account. It is also in scope for the application of the levy. Then the last one would be a transfer from bank to bank. However, it has to originate from an individual. And then the means that we are using is that it has to be via an instant pay digital application or platform.
Right.
What this means is that if you have an internet banking or a mobile app, and then you make a transfer from that bank account using that instant digital mobile app that you have to someone else, we currently, the minister has given the bank threshold for that transaction to be 20,000 cedis cumulative for the day.
Yeah.
So what this means is that if I make a transfer of, say, 10,000 in the morning using my bank application, and I won't be charged the levy. That same day, if I make a transfer of, say, 15,000 cedis to another person using the same application that I have, I will be charged 1.5% on the 5,000 because I would have exceeded my daily limit of 20,000.
Yeah.
So basically, this is the scope of the levy for transfers.
Okay. So Marco, I had a recent experience, just recently, just when the E-Levy began. I went out with friends to have drinks, and then I wanted to transfer money from my bank account to my wallet. And I followed all the prompts to the last stage. Now, when I got to the last stage, it stated the bank charge, it stated the E-Levy and how much that would be. And then it didn't give me the option to enter so that the money will come. So I had to take a snapshot of it and I sent to my bankers. And then I didn't hear from them. The following day, when I tried again, I realized that, okay, the E-Levy bit had been taken off and the transaction was smooth as before. And so that tells you that the bank perhaps is not applying the E-Levy because it's missing from, the prompts. And my transactions went through. So what accounts for this?
This probably might be that they've not fully updated their systems.
Mm-hmm.
It could be. I'm not so sure which one it is.
No, I'm not going to tell you which bank it is anyway. I'm not going to put them on the spot.
So it could be that they are still in the process of updating the app that they are using. It could also mean that because you haven't exceeded the threshold that you are liable, because you are sending from a bank account to another bank account.
No, a bank account to my Momo wallet.
Okay, to your Momo wallet. Okay. So ordinarily that should attract the E-Levy unless you have linked your Momo to your bank account. If you have already done that linking, then you won't get charged.
Okay.
If you've gone to the bank, fill a form that the Momo wallet is yours, then the bank will not charge you. But if they did charge you, you have you can ask for your money back by complaining to the bank and proving that the Momo wallet is yours. The bank have to give you the E-Levy charge back to your account. Yeah.
All right. So how do I link my bank account to my Momo wallet?
Okay. So that's a service that the banks were already rendering before the introduction of E-Levy, where you go to the banking hall, they give you a form to fill, and then you provide your details, including your number that you want to link.
Okay.
And once you have that arrangement, we call it a bilateral agreement between the bank and the telco or the mobile money company.
Okay.
Once you have that, currently in this modified approach, we've asked them not to charge on those with bilaterals. But if you don't have that, you've not linked, then they'll charge you, and then you have to make a complaint and get your money back.
All right, so we all know that the implementation of the E-Levy cannot be effective. It can't be smooth without your collaboration with other stakeholders, other parties, one of which is the charging entities that you mentioned. And I said I'll come back to you and find out from you who these charging entities are. How many are they?
So the law makes mention of entities that are mandated to charge the E-Levy, and they are in 4 main categories. So the first category, Opoku has mentioned, they are known as EMI, meaning electronic money issuers. Now, by electronic money issuers, we are talking about these mobile money companies who are mostly subsidiaries of the telcos. So MTN Money, Mobile Money, Vodafone Cash, Airtel Tigo, G-Money, ZPay. These are the 5 known electronic money issuers with license from the BOG.
Okay.
So that is one category.
Okay.
The next category would be our banks. That's our commercial banks. We have 23 commercial banks.
Okay.
So all licensed commercial banks are also the next group of charging entities. The next, we have the PSPs.
PSPs.
PSP. That is PSP.
Okay.
That is payment service providers.
Okay.
And there are several of them. We have Cellulant, Insano, just to mention a few. Then last but not least is the SDIs. That is the specialized deposit taking institutions. That's where you find your microfinance, you find your rural banks, and community banks, the finance houses, savings and loans. You find them in this category. So these are the 4 main categories.
Yeah.
The law also make provision for the minister by way of regulation if he wants to add onto this list. But for now, these are the known charging entities that the law makes provision for.
Right. Let me come to you, Afri, and find out. There are complaints and reports from the public about lack of education and sensitization in the lead up to the implementation of the E-Levy. Is this something you allude to?
Right. So the sensitization drive has been a bit slow, looking at the complexity of the implementation for the levy. But then the GRA, together with the charging entities, wanted to have a common communication strategy for the public so that we do not have inconsistencies with regards to the communication that we are driving. So because of that, we have engaged a number of stakeholders with the banks that has already been talked about, together with the EMIs, the PSPs, and the SDIs, to have a common way where we can all have the same message being sent to the public. So in that regard, the banks will or have started sending out communication in regard to their customers. The EMIs too have also been doing the same. You'll receive text message about the implementation of the levy being initiated. So these are some of the strategies that the GRA has put together in collaboration with the charging entities to put across to the public.
All right, so I'll put the same question to you. Are you satisfied with the sensitization and education that has gone on so far?
So far, I think...
And I believe you would have read also in the media, online, about, people flagging you for not doing enough sensitization.
They should forgive us. We started in earnest after 31st of March when the law was passed. And they have to understand that the GRA had no locus prior to the law being passed. So if between 1st of April and now, this is the achievement that we have chalked, I believe they should pat us in the back. The time was a bit short, but we've made sure at least all subscribers on network got the text messages. The bank have sent the messages. We are on major news networks. You see the social media handle is flagging with E-Levy. I mean, E-Levy everywhere. So even though the time was short, I believe we are making do with what we have. And we have not stopped. We've rolled out a comprehensive educational program that is going to the outfield officers. Our officers would also have these programs with taxpayers.
Right.
That is also being done as we speak. Yeah.
You made mention of your achievement, within 1 week, and I mean,
Within 1 month.
Within 1 month.
From 1st April.
1st April. Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. I'm interested in the figures. Are you willing to tell us how much you've accrued so far?
I don't have the figures offhand, but on the average, one of our checks, as I told you, some of the banks are still configuring their system to come on board fully. So my expectation is that by mid of May, we will have a large segment of the charging entities all doing the charging. But the little we've seen from the charging entities who hold the majority of subscribers, that's about 70% of subscribers, their payments so far is very encouraging. We've got over 1 million Ghana cedis coming in as E-Levy just from a single charging entity.
Okay.
So our hope is that if the others should join, we probably should be able to
raise the figures.
Reasonable figure. Yes.
All right, so let me come to you. I'm now zooming into our sector proper. I'm asking for importers and exporters who depend heavily on Momo transactions to pay their duties and do other transactions within our sector. How does the E-Levy apply to them?
So ordinarily for an import sector, we can break down all the payments into three criteria. So let's look at it from the shipping and logistics. So as an importer, you would make arrangements and then pay the shipping company for that matter. Then you can also look at it from the customs clearance process. The duties that you pay goes directly to the government of Ghana. Then we can also look at it from the perspective of the custom broker, who then you would have to pay a commission. The custom broker,
yes, okay,
or the agent.
As the freight forwarders,
yes. So typically for that agent, you would then pay a fee for that service that the person has rendered to you. So when we then skew into the specifics for the shipping company, we can then treat it as part of what we call in the law specified merchant payment. The question is the shipping company registered with the GRA for either income tax or VAT? If that is the case, then the payments that you make to that merchant or that shipping company wouldn't attract the levy. Now, for the customs procedure, that is the duties and the levies that you pay to the government of Ghana, in the law, it is also captured in that transfer for the payment of taxes, fees, and charges via the Ghana.gov platform or any designated government of Ghana payment service platform is exempt from the levy. So in this case, the levy that you are paying, or let's say the duties that you are paying via or through the Ghana.gov platform makes the entire process for the customs exempt or free from the levy. Then the third one would be the fee or the service charge that the agent or the custom broker would then have to charge you for rendering that services. So typically it works the same way with regards to the specific merchant payment. If the agency is registered with the GRA for either income tax or VAT, then that payment you make to that broker or that custom broker would be exempt of the levy. So ordinarily, when you itemize this scenario, the entire import process into these phases, the shipping, then the custom clearance, and then that of the custom agent or brokers, you can then see where ordinarily the levy won't apply in any of them, especially for the payment that is made via the Ghana.gov. All
right. I'd like you to take this question, Mr. Marco. It says, please, hello, I am Port. Please, if a clearing agency is paying shipping line charges by bank transfer to the shipping line, will E-Levy apply? If yes, why so? Because they are both registered with the GRA. Also, won't this charge make them use check and wait for same to be cleared, thus delaying port clearance? This one is from Nana Jesse.
Thank you very much. So I think...
Are you clear with the question?
I am clear,
Okay.
I think Opoku has answered that if the shipping agent is registered with the Ghana Revenue Authority, and it's also making use of a merchant service. You know, you can pay to the shipping line using the merchant service on the Momo line. When you go to MTN, their payment, you could do the *170#, then you go to Momo Pay or Pay Bill. If the shipping line is making use of that payment service route and is registered with the Ghana Revenue Authority, then those payments will not attract the E-Levy.
Okay.
Unless they are not using that service, which would then make it an ordinary transfer. So the education here is that all such businesses should one be registered with the Ghana Revenue Authority if they are not, and then they should take advantage of the payment service being provided by the telcos, where you could pay to them using those payment service routes. Then their customers don't end up suffering the E-Levy.
All right. Okay, this one says, my name is John Goodwill from Obum. Please, I've linked my Momo wallet to my GCB account, but I am still charged E-Levy when transferring money from my Momo to my bank account. I spoke with the manager of the bank, and he told me it is GRA that gave them the directives to charge me E-Levy.
I think let me pick that, because that was the one I told you. It's called a bilateral.
Yeah.
He's gone to the bank. He's completed the form.
Yeah.
They are not supposed to charge that within this modified approach. They are supposed to allow him assume that it is his account between now and 1st of July. We've asked the charging entities not to charge. So I believe he's mentioned the name of the bank. So we, the relationship manager for that bank, I don't know who is the relationship. We'll contact them.
Yeah, sure. And then take it up from there.
But he hasn't lost his money. All the ones they've taken from him, he should make a call to their helpline and prove to them that
they charge them E-Levy.
They are charging him levy on a
under
SIM,
the directives of GRA.
on a SIM that he owns.
Okay.
And the same GRA says that he's entitled to a refund.
Yeah, refund.
They should refund his money back to him.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you know the shipping and port industry is a specialized one, and you made mention of the three: the logistics. You made shipping and logistics, customs clearance, and you also made mention of the freight forwarders. And don't you think that it's important for you to kind of like pay special attention to these group of people in terms of sensitization and education, to get their buy-in, to get them to appreciate the nuances involved in the implementation of this and how they can also support or help their what do we call it, clients, that's the importers and exporters? Because, I mean, it's something they complain about a lot.
Yeah, so I do agree that we have to have, the GRA would have to have a session with the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders and then the Ghana Shippers Association and all the various
QBAG and then the
stakeholders.
other freight forwarding
Yeah, so that is something that the GRA has in plan. For now, what we are focusing on is the general public so that everybody would be involved in this process. But then the various stakeholders with regards to the ports, GRA has a schedule for them to engage them, an in-person meeting to clearly define how the scope of the E-Levy would be applicable to them. So that is something that the GRA has in plan.
And you know, one thing that is very key that we use in the port in terms of clearance is the ICOMs. And perhaps maybe the GRA or the technical committee would want to meet, the ICOMs guys and then perhaps see how you can rope them in to help you effectively and smoothly implement this one. Don't you think?
Well, ICOM is within our scope, so it's not. It's part of GRA. So to me, we don't even have to reach out. They are part of us. They are one of us.
Yeah.
So we don't have issue
with them.
In them because they are our own.
Okay. Because I know the way sometimes the freight forwarders and the clearing agents, take up issues, and you wouldn't believe that just when this flyer went out for this show to come on, they were willing to come because I think already they have issues. They were willing to come. And I said, okay, I explained to them, you wait, let them come. This one is for education. And then when you have the gray areas and you think that there are areas that you haven't addressed, then you can come on board and then let us see how we can. But they were willing to come and engage you because they think that, yes, they urgently need you to come there and then sort them out, answer some questions, clear some ambiguities, and then they can come along with you. And I'm telling you, once you are able to get their buy-in, I mean, things will be very easy for you.
Yeah, we have engaged them, I think last year in areas when the GRA went cashless, as well as when we converted the Ghana card to TIN. So these are some of the things that we engage certain stakeholders. So clearly, give the entire stakeholders with regards to the shipping and ports are in scope for the GRA when it comes to engagement. So that is something that will be done.
All right, so we'll take a look at categories of people or entities that are likely to perhaps be exempted from the E-Levy. Are there some category of people or entities?
Not entities, but transfers.
Okay.
There are some specific transfers that are excluded.
Okay.
We won't use the word exemption because when you go to exemption, you are going too technical. So we say excluded.
Right.
So I can give you about 6 main
list them, yes.
exemption types. So the very first one is that your first 100 Ghana for the day, cumulatively. By cumulative, we are talking about all the accounts and wallets you own across. Cumulatively, 100 Ghana a day is tax-free. The E-Levy doesn't apply. But there's one good catch there. Because we have not gone the common platform route, it means that each day, all the SIMs that you have, you end up getting 100 Ghana for each SIM, which is a benefit that the public is getting. And normally when they are getting benefit, they don't cry. But there's a benefit for each SIM or each bank account, you are getting 100 Ghana cedis. And also for bank transfers of 20,000 a day, that is also cumulative for all the accounts, bank accounts that you own, not per account. Because we are not yet on the common platform, that also becomes a benefit per account to customers between now and 1st July. The next exclusion is transfer to yourself. And by transfer to yourself, the identity behind your account should be the Ghana card. So between now and 1st of July, we expect the general public to update their Ghana card re-registration, the same re-registration with their Ghana card. They should also do same with their bank account, update their records with their banks. So that come 1st July, when the common platform is now being the monitoring and adjudication, you will get those exemptions or those exclusions. The third one is payment of taxes and charges and fees on the Ghana.gov platform or any other designated government of Ghana payment platform. Those are also excluded. Then the fourth one being the specified merchant payments. That is where you take advantage of the payment service provided by the telcos or the banks. By this, we are talking about the POSs, the GHQR. We are talking about payment with the cards, the debit and the credit cards online. We are talking about using the short code for some specific payment. You go to some businesses, they have a special short code you use to pay. For our utilities, water, they have a special short code you use to pay. They all fall under this category of the specified merchant payment. But the catch there is that the merchant should also be registered with the Ghana Revenue Authority for income tax or VAT in order to qualify. Then the next one is the transfer between a principal, master agent, and agent account. By this, we are talking about the ecosystem of the mobile money vendors, where the amount of money they use, the float they use in transacting their business have been ring-fenced and protected from the E-Levy.
Right.
So today, when they transfer amongst themselves within their ecosystem, the E-Levy doesn't apply. It also includes the fact that when you are doing a cash-in, which is similar to a deposit at the bank, the E-Levy doesn't apply. And then when you are doing a cash-out, that is equivalent to a withdrawal at the bank, either at the ATM or at the counter, the E-Levy doesn't apply as well. And last but not least is the electronic transfer of checks. That is also excluded under the Act. These are the 6 exclusions.
Okay.
Just to add to it. So ordinarily, when a bank account that belongs to a corporate entity, so if you have a corporate bank account, and that corporate entity is making a transfer, regardless of the amount, whether it is 1 million cedis or so, when that corporate entity makes that transfer to an individual or another corporate entity bank account, that transfer is exempt from the levy. So that is something that we should also be mindful of, that for corporate bank transfers, which terminate at another bank account, that entire transfer is free.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So imagine that I have free mobile chips, numbers. I have MTN, I have Vodafone, I have Airtel Tigo. Now I use MTN for my first transaction, 100 cedis, no deduction. Is that going to be applicable to my Vodafone and MTN? Because if I exhaust the 100 Ghana on my MTN and I move to Vodafone, I want to do another 100. I move to Airtel Tigo, I want to do another 100.
Yeah, so that's what I did talk about with regards to the modified phased approach. Now, with the modified phased approach, what will happen is that MTN doesn't have visibility over who the recipient is at Vodafone. So when MTN grants you the daily threshold of 100 cedis, you would also have the same daily threshold of 100 cedis on Vodafone and Airtel. Okay. But then when we go the full approach come 1st July, that is where the common platform will then have oversight over who the identity of each person for regardless of the network that you are on. So if you make a transfer from MTN and then you are now going to make a transfer from Vodafone, the common platform would have deduced that you are the same owner of MTN. You've already exhausted the 100 cedis daily limit. So 1st July, that would be the case. But from now till 30th June, you will be able to enjoy the daily threshold in the network that you belong to.
All right. Okay, so this is our report here on Metropolitan Television, and tonight we are discussing the application of the E-Levy on the port and shipping business. And with me in the studios, I have Mr. Opoku Efriye Asante. He is a member of the E-Levy Technical Committee from the Ghana Revenue Authority, and indeed, Mr. Isaac Mako. He's also a member of the E-Levy Technical Committee, Ghana Revenue Authority. We're going for a quick break. On bounce back, we'll continue the show. Please stay with us.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Go Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Go Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Go Super XP Run 95 gives you a smooth driving experience that is less vibrations. Fill up with Go Super XP Run 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse. And my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
Mps Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
All right, so you're welcome back. I have been told to announce that the phone lines are activated. You can call in and perhaps contribute to the discussion. The number to dial is 020-552-8353, 020-552-8353. You can call in and contribute to the discussion. In the meantime, your messages are still coming in thick and fast, and I'll go onto the inbox and then bring them out. This one says, please, I want to ask the man, will I be charged when I use the ATM machine?
No. Withdrawals from ATM, withdrawals over the counter, withdrawals as in cash out at the mobile agent vendor, these all do not attract the E-Levy.
Okay. I think this one just took a snapshot of a message perhaps that he received from a service provider. He says, sorry, transaction was not successful. Money cannot be sent to MTN merchant numbers. No money was deducted from your account. Do you understand what it is?
Yeah, so it probably means that the person was trying to do a transfer from their bank account to their mobile money, which in this case, which was MTN.
Yeah.
But because that transfer couldn't go through, no deductions
Was affected,
taken,
okay.
I would also pick it from another angle. Read the message again.
Okay.
He says,
sorry, transaction was not successful. Money cannot be sent to MTN merchant numbers.
Good.
No money was deducted from your account.
Yes, this is what it means. You know when you are doing MTN, you do *170#.
Yes.
There are 6 or so menus that will come. The first one says transfer. The second one says bill, pay, Momo pay, or pay bill. Good. Now, when you go to the first one and you say transfer, it expects that the number you provide would be a number in the format of a normal subscriber number. That's the 10 digits number.
Yes.
024 up to 100.
Yeah.
That is the format it's looking for.
Okay.
this person probably might have provided the merchant number, which is sometimes 4 digits or 5 digits or 6 digits.
Yeah, sure.
And then the system is telling him, no, it is not possible to do
Okay.
it there. So if that is exactly what he wants to do, then he needs to come to the Momo Pay. That is the portion that
You
accepts.
can use to the merchant number.
No, that's
yes.
right.
4, 5, or 6
The
digits.
4, 5,
Okay.
that's
All right.
where he can do that
Great.
type of transaction.
Okay, so let's go into the phone lines and welcome Daniel from Kwanta onto the discussion. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, good to hear from you.
Yes, sure. My name is Daniel from Nkwanta.
Mm.
Mine is actually, a contribution.
Yeah.
So I made a transaction from Cowbank to my own Momo wallet, which is linked to my Cowbank account. But then there wasn't any charge on that. So it is to add up to what the officers are actually educating us on.
Mm.
So my mobile money account is linked to my Cowbank account. I made some transfer from my Cowbank account to my mobile money account, and there wasn't any E-Levy charge on it. Yes, so it was to attest to what the officers
Are
said
saying. All right, great. Thank you very much, Danny. We are grateful to you for your call. He just alluding to the to what you said here. He did some transactions and the E-Levy was not charged or affected. Let's continue some of the messages. But you can also call in. The number to dial, like I said, is 020-552-8353. 020-552-8353. This one says, I'm a registered taxpayer. So if I send money to my mom, who is also a registered taxpayer, should I be exempted from E-Levy? This one is from Nana Jesse.
Right. So with regards to being a registered taxpayer, it's not factored in when you are doing a transfer. Now, what we are saying is that for what we call the specified merchant payment, the one that you are making payment to is a merchant, and that merchant needs to be registered with the GRA for income tax or VAT. So when you make a transfer to someone, even if that person is a merchant and you make a transfer to that merchant, the levy would be applicable.
Okay.
Unless it is a payment going through the payment service route. That is where the levy won't be applicable in that case.
Okay, so let's go into the phone lines once again and welcome Godwin, who is calling us from Gordon, yes, sir. Good evening.
Yes. Good evening.
Yes, please flow.
Should I go ahead?
Please flow, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Gordon. Yes. Yeah. I want to know whether, let me put it this way. Do remittances attract E-Levy from outside? Remittances.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, good. I think that's your question, right?
Yes.
Thank you very much. They'll respond to that.
Yeah, so for foreign remittances, they do not attract the levy when it's being remitted from a place outside the jurisdiction of Ghana. So once that comes into play, the levy doesn't fall within that scope.
Okay. Yeah. All right, because we've had a lot of concerns from this particular angle. People are now willing to wait and get people that are coming to Ghana to give them the cash to come and deliver to their sons, daughters, cousins, nieces, and all that, rather than do electronic transactions because they think that the E-Levy is going to apply.
It will not apply, as Supuku have said. But 1.5 of $1,000 is
That would
not
have
so
been-
much that you should give the money to somebody. I mean, you are Ghanaian.
The risk
You don't want
involved.
to pay something small for the state.
Okay.
But it doesn't apply, please.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
remittances, no
all
E-Levy.
Okay, because recently I had an experience. My auntie came from the UK, from London, and then several people sent her monies to come and give to people. And so whilst we were sitting there, she even had to call. I had to receive the call and direct the person to her house to come and take their monies. And so tomorrow this other person is also coming for hers because they think that E-Levy is going to be applied today. All right. Okay, let's go into the phone lines and welcome Kobna from Asenkregwa. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, please flow.
My question is the levy applicable when you go to the banking hall, fill a form to transfer money, or when you use a banking hall's platform, the electronic platform to transfer money from one person to another, or it's applicable when you use the app, the banking app? Your guys to touch on that.
Okay. Thank you very much. We're grateful to you for... Yes, I think you can.
Yes, I think the clarification is that even at the banking hall, it is applicable because the tellers are using an app to do the transaction.
Right.
So once it is an instruction to the teller, and money is being transferred from your personal account to another person's bank account, E-Levy is applicable, whether at the banking hall or using your own app. The tellers are also using the same app.
Yeah. The exception, just to add to what Isaac just talked about, the exception in this case would be if the transfer was initiated via what we call either a SWIFT or ACH, right? So automated clearinghouse. So what we are saying is that SWIFT transfers are excluded from the levy, as well as ACH transactions. So in that case, it wouldn't apply.
Okay. All right. This one says, please, I'm Jonathan from Asinfosu. My bank doesn't operate mobile banking, but have an app that helps transfer money from your account to another bank, which is added as a beneficiary. So I have added my own ABSA account as a beneficiary, which I normally use. Please, will the E-Levy affect using this app?
I believe it would affect it because they haven't. It's not a linking your mobile phone account to your bank account. He has one account with one bank, and then he's added another bank's account number which he owns. In the modified approach, his bank wouldn't know that that account belongs to him.
Okay.
So they will charge him.
Okay.
But he's entitled to a refund. But comes 1st July, the common platform would now be in a position to know that that account belongs to him.
Okay.
And then it will not be charged.
All right. We're going to the phone lines. Daniel is calling us from Begro, if I get it well. Good evening, sir. Accra, okay. Daniel, good evening, sir. Do we have Daniel on the line? Okay. I understand Daniel is going off the line. Yes, so you are implying that this particular guy would attract whose bank doesn't offer, electronic services, but has an app that aids him to transfer money, and he adds his ABSA number account, which he uses as a beneficiary. He would have to pay E-Levy.
When he exceeds the 20,000 threshold.
That's right.
So if his transactions are always going to be below 20,000, he will not see any E-Levy being applicable.
Okay, so you mentioned the initial challenges that had to do with the implementation, which had to do with the issues that people raised about sending less amounts that shouldn't attract E-Levy and all those things. Apart from these petty complaints and reports that you've had, what are some of the issues that came up?
Basically, that's about the issues with regards to the off-net transactions that has been brought to our attention. So typically, even for the banks, you would realize that when you make a transfer from your bank account to a mobile money account, it is not an intra-bank transfer.
Mr. Santi, hold your fire. Let's welcome Steve from Tamale onto the lines, and then when we come back, you continue. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, Steve.
Yeah.
Please flow, sir.
Yeah. Thank you for the good work.
Thanks, too.
I have some few clarifications I want people to
You're
give
seeking,
us.
okay.
In fact, I have a Momo account in a different name, but the line is my name. If I do transfer, will I attract a charge?
He should come again. He has a Momo account
please
in a
come
different
again.
name. And doing
Yeah,
what?
I have a Momo account.
Yeah.
A different name.
Which bears a different name.
Yeah.
And what is he trying to do now?
But yeah, so if I transfer from that to or from my main account into that account, will I pay from a bank?
If you transfer money from a bank to that account,
the bank he owns
which is your SIM number but not your name.
Yes, the same number, and I can prove it.
Okay.
Right.
I think I get him. So he owns a mobile money account that is not in
his name. Yeah.
And then he has a bank account.
Yeah.
So he's asking that if he moves funds from his bank account to that specific,
will he be charged?
Will he be charged? So it depends on which context. So for the modified phased approach, you are not supposed to be charged when that is if you have linked that mobile money account to your bank account.
Right.
However, when we go to the common platform, it will check the identity of the account holder who owns the Momo, who has the Momo, vis-a-vis the account or the identity of the account holder of the bank.
Right.
Now, when there's a discrepancy in that identity of who the bank owner is as against that of the mobile money account,
Yeah.
then you will be levied for that transaction.
Right.
But in the modified phased approach, if there's a bilateral relationship with your bank account and your mobile money account, so far as it is linked, you won't be levied.
Okay. All right. So we welcome Bright from Tema onto the show. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, please flow.
Oh, okay. Please, what I want to say is I work in a company, right? And I pay tax over there. So I'm asking if my money has been pushed to bank and I want to transfer it to my Momo wallet. Will you extract any charges, please?
Did you get him?
Come again. If
It's the same question.
Okay.
Transferring from his bank account
To his Momo.
the
his
Momo.
own
All right.
to
Yeah.
his own Momo.
Thank you very much
he should
indeed,
link
Bright.
the two up and then he won't get charged. If
He should link the two up. So
Yeah.
the simple thing to do to avoid being charged E-Levy from when you're transferring money from your bank account to your Momo wallet is to link the two up.
Yes.
That's link your Momo account with your
To
bank,
your bank
account,
account.
and then you are
And then
sorted.
you are sorted.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but in the event that you link and then you are still being deducted for whatever technical glitch, you would have to call that bank or that EMI that withheld that levy and then ask for a refund, and then
Right.
it should be refunded within a period of 72 hours.
Okay. All right. So you were still on some of the challenges before.
Yes, so basically we've actually answered that scenario with regards to transferring money from a bank app to a Momo wallet.
Yes.
So far as the Momo belongs to another person, you will be levied for that transaction. Also, the cumulative daily threshold for 100 CDs covers bank transfers which end at a Momo account. The 20,000 is in scope for bank-to-bank transfers which originate from an individual. So that is something we should also take cognizance of. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me add a bit to the challenges that we.
Please, yes, list it, note it down. When we come back, we are picking
Right.
Ben from Kasua. When we come,
Okay.
then you deal with it. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes. Good to have you. Please flow.
Yeah, please. My question is, when you are transferring, let me say the 100 cities, that will not attract the E-Levy. When you add up, let me say 5 cities, because one person to get the correct amount, will it be attracted by E-Levy?
Did you get a question?
Yeah.
You did?
So when you transfer 100 CDs, you are not going to be levied. However, after transferring the 100 CDs and you decide to transfer just 5 CDs, the question he's asking is, will you be levied?
Levied, okay.
And in that case, you will be levied because you've exhausted your daily threshold,
Okay.
which is 100 CDs. So even if you make 5 CDs transfer, 10 CDs transfer to someone else, you will be charged 1.5% on
Of
that.
that?
5
On the
CDs.
5 CDs?
On the 5 CDs.
Okay.
On the 5 CDs.
All right. Okay. Yes. So you wanted to add to?
Yes, the challenges. We had another challenge. It wasn't technical in nature, but
Okay.
we had reports that some Momo vendors were charging customers E-Levy when the customers want to do a cash-in, that's a
Yes.
deposit. And we're also charging E-Levy when they want to withdraw their monies.
Right.
So that was something that came to our notice. And we told people that the E-Levy is not money that is taken over the counter or you hand it over to a person. It is automatically deducted from your accounts. So you don't have to give money to an agent for E-Levy. Some of the agents too were telling the customers that their Momo account has been deducted the E-Levy. So the customer need to reimburse him that amount that has been taken from him.
Right.
That is also not accurate.
Okay.
So when you are doing a cash-in, please don't pay any E-Levy to any Momo agent. When you are doing a cash-out, same. Don't do any E-Levy. Even though the telco charge applies when you are doing a cash-out, E-Levy doesn't apply.
All right. Okay. So let me go to Tamale and welcome Salifu onto the discussion. Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes. Please go ahead, Salifu.
Okay. Please, what I want to find out is if I am using a mobile banking app and then I want to transfer my money from that bank through the mobile money, through the bank app to my accounts. I don't know whether I'll be charged E-Levy or not.
Did you get it? Mr. Asante, did you get a question?
Yeah, so he has a bank account and he's using a mobile bank app, the
Yes.
app that belongs to the bank.
Yes.
and he wants to find. I think we've already answered some of these questions, but then we can just take it again.
Yeah.
So if he's making a transfer from the mobile app to an
Salif,
account,
are you still on the line, sir? Salif, are you on the line? Oh, he's gone off. Okay. All right.
Right. So he has a mobile app.
I think we can respond based on our understanding of his question.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So he has a mobile app which is connected to the bank account,
Yeah.
and he's making a transfer from that mobile app to another bank account. So in this case, what we are saying is that becomes a bank-to-bank transfer.
Yeah.
If that transaction you are making in a day doesn't exceed 20,000, you won't be levied. It is when you exceed that 20,000 that is where you'll be charged 1.5% on the excess of the 20,000.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll take our last caller. The calls are coming in so much. I'll take Godfrey from Teshi. He'll be our last caller, and then we'll address some messages here as well. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, please flow.
Okay. Please, I really get it that when you are transferring money from your account to your mobile money, you are not to pay anything. But I would want to know, is it within the threshold of 100 cedis or any amount you are either transferring from your bank account or your mobile money
Okay.
within attract the levy?
All right. I think his question is explicit.
Yeah, it's straight.
clear, yeah.
There's no threshold.
Okay.
Any amount that he's transferring, so far as it is his, the E-Levy doesn't apply. There's no threshold.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do this message. It says, good evening, Iron Port. Kindly do justice to the questions below. 1. Will duty payments through mobile app, e.g. EcoBank app, attract E-Levy? 2. What arrangements is being done or put in place to avert E-Levy on shipping lines and terminal payments done via Momo? I ask because shipping lines and terminals are not signed on the gh.gov to receive payments. This one is from a forwarder.
Yes, I think Opoku, you did justice to that. I think you should.
If you can
So
rehash,
with regards to the shipping, they will be treated as what we call a merchant.
Okay.
And all we need to know for them is that are they registered with the GRA is that shipping company registered with the GRA for income tax or VAT? So if you are making a payment to that shipping company using the Momo Pay, as long as they are registered with us for either income tax or VAT, that wouldn't attract the levy. That's right.
There are 2 questions. The first one says, will duty payments through mobile app, e.g. EcoBank app, attract E-Levy?
Right. So the channel for the EcoBank app for duty payments is routed through the Ghana.gov platform. And once it goes through the Ghana.gov platform, you wouldn't be levied when you make that payment.
Okay. All right. Okay, so initially, government projected to make some 6 billion Ghana cedis a year through E-Levy, and we understand this was revised downward to 4 billion. You are the lead implementing agency for E-Levy. Is this possible?
Unfortunately, I always shy away from those projections because where we set our mandate is our mandate is to make sure that this law is implemented efficiently using the best project management methodology that we can find. And to our best of knowledge, we have done that. As to whether the projections will be met or they will not be met, that is another department's job.
But GRA has, you have always exceeded you have always, not E-Levy, you have always exceeded your yearly targets. Last year you exceeded your targets, and you are aiming at exceeding this year as well.
I already told you that handsomely, looking at the figures we were seeing last week, we were all smiling because I wasn't expecting one charging entity to be doing in excess of 1 million in a day. And this is even when other charging entities have not come on board. We are looking at over 300 charging entities in total.
Sure.
And so far,
if one is able to do
1 million in a holiday when there is no peak.
Yeah.
There was a Sunday holiday, there was a Monday holiday, there was a Tuesday holiday.
Yeah.
And yes, so consistently, this same charging entity was doing 1 million holiday, another 1 million holiday.
You might end up doing 9 billion for government too.
So it has a lot of prospects.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
I also think that with regards to the 6.9 billion that was projected, it was based on the assumption that we would go with the 1.75%.
Yeah.
But now that it has
1.5,
it's now 1. Obviously, it would
Dip,
also
yeah.
go down. And then as Isaac also mentioned earlier on, I mean, we are still in the initial stage of collection. So we'll have a much more better perspective to this when we go, say, we exhaust a quarter. Then we would have enough data to project that, okay, we will either be able to meet the 4.5 or not.
Right. All right. So I know you are still fine-tuning your systems and getting things done in order to have a very, very smooth, operation, to come on an even keel, and then I think that you take it up from there. What are some of the things you are doing to ensure that things go on seamlessly and smoothly?
We still engaging the charging entities, those who are plugging their system a bit late, and those who are still tweaking to be able to become fully compliant. At this point, we've started from 1st of May. We are yet to get to the middle of May.
Yeah.
So it is more focused on their internal system tweaking and making sure that they are all compliant. And then they are also remitting what they've collected after every 48 hours.
Right.
They remit what they've collected to us. Our next focus is now going to be how they prepare towards 1st July. So immediately after the middle of May, our next engagement is they need to get back, start testing if they are fully compliant at plugging into the common platform.
Right. Thank you very much indeed. Isaac Kwabena Mwako, member, E-Levy Technical Committee from the Ghana Revenue Authority. And indeed, Opoku Efri Asante, he's also a member of the E-Levy Technical Committee, Ghana Revenue Authority. We're grateful to you for shedding some light on the operations of the E-Levy since implementation just 1 week on. We are told the figures are good, and so we are in good business. We appreciate your coming here tonight, and we believe that as and when the need arises, we would call you, and then you come and then give us the clarifications and clear whatever ambiguities that people have about the E-Levy, the implementation, and in particular, with regards to our sector, that's the port and shipping sector. I've told you that the freight forwarders are waiting for you, and so you need to make time for them. We'd like to say a big thanks to our sponsors, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. The show is powered by them. And then indeed to Goyle Company Limited, Ghana Revenue Authority, Ghana Link Network Services implementers of the integrated customs management system. We also say thank you to Serene Insurance and Meridian Port Services for sponsoring Eye on Port. Remember that the show on Ghana Television every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. God willing, we shall bounce back again next week with another wonderful edition of Eye on Port here on Metropolitan Television. My name is Kennedy Mona. I will say thank you for watching and have a super week ahead.